I've written the beginning of my book several times, and so I'm just going to read out what I've actually written today. I've did this a number of times, but I've never been happy with it, but I think I'm going to have to stop and just stick with one beginning. Anyway, if anyone doesn't know about it, the story is about a child who lives in a council estate, or a little avenue, Leafy Avenue, and her father is actually from this other world called Minas. It's an enchanted world with vast enchanted forests and meadows and things like that. And he was once a dragon who took the form of mortal man to walk amongst them. And so Ellie has inherited the dragon's blood in her, which gives her these kind of special powers, which she's not quite aware of at the minute. But they become more pronounced later on in the story, especially when she travels to this other enchanted world of Minas, which you'll find out later. So she becomes the inheritor of the last dragon soul. In the world of Minas, all the dragons were hunted down by a dark sorcerer, and their souls were used and twisted to perform dark magic in order to bring darkness to the land and stop the light and the light of magic actually resurfacing. So Ellie has the last dragon soul. It's called the Noriel. It's a magical light, or a sprite, or an orb, or whatever you want to call it. And the dark sorcerer now knows of her, and so now seeks her. But the story all unravels later on, especially in book 2, which I've written quite a bit of. But anyway, this is the beginning of book 1. The universe is very big and very, very old, and so it stands to reason that odd things, unexplainable things, do occur sometimes to those who least expect it. Ellie's house was an ordinary house, but its scale and proportions were enough to lift it from the mundane and was pleasing on the eye. It had a small front and rear garden with a tree and lots of plants and shrubs. Nothing ever happened on Ellie Street, nothing exciting there is, to her disappointment, though she did wish for something to occur that we would call exciting, an adventure perhaps to faraway lands. Her home sat in a leafy corner within an everyday avenue that had lots of trees, which was good, as Ellie liked climbing trees. Outwardly, she was an ordinary 10-year-old girl that did most of what ordinary girls do at their age: scale walls, climb trees, and cross lava lakes before undertaking daring leaps over snake-infested pits, or fighting off the odd troll between breakfast and lunch. But there was something less ordinary, you might say different, about Ellie. Something special that she really wasn't all that aware of as being singularly out of the ordinary. She could talk with animals. She understood what they were thinking, almost feel and sense their world through her own eyes, understood what they were saying, could communicate, and they understood her too. It wasn't out of the ordinary for the child to sit and have a conversation with, say, a cat or a dog or even a bird, remark on its song, that in the end it really didn't seem that big a deal to her anymore. It had never occurred to her that this was strange, though she did wonder. But there was no mistaking it. Animals felt calm near her. They seemed to be drawn to her, almost like a healer. Perhaps part of her thought or imagined that it was all in her head, and so went along with it anyway, just for the fun of it. After all, she did like to daydream now and again. Well, you can let me know what you think of that, and yeah.